Anyway, I think Madam Chair may nagtataas yata ng kamay.
Yes, we wish to recognize
Meralco yan, Meralco.
Meralco. Sorry.
Uh, Mr. Chair, yeah, in terms of just to give data for the Meralco franchise, the amount of the energy taxes amounts to actually 300 million per year. It's 300 million per year. And also, Mr. Chair, on the impression that only Meralco imposes the energy tax. Kasi po doon sa batas, ang sabi po dyan, kung yung utility po, depende sa rates. Kung utility daw po ay ang rates niya ay mas mababa sa Meralco, eh dapat daw po siya mag-impose ng energy tax. So pag may utility naman po na mas mataas, yun na po ay hindi mag-a-apply ng energy tax. So sa tingin ko po, meron pong iba ding areas sa outside Meralco na nag-i-impose din po ng energy taxes. Depende po sa comparison ng rate between Meralco and yung particular DO na yun. Yun po.
Madam Chair, if I may. So, ang sinasabi ninyo, wala sa kanila because consumption-wise, hindi talaga sila pumapasok doon sa tiering.
Kung babasahin po yung BP 36, sabi po, if the DU's rate is above, then
Correct.
hindi mag-i-impose yung DU. So makikita sa bill, walang energy tax. Pero once na mas mababa po ang yung rate, kumbaga nung DU na yon, that's the time na mag-i-impose dapat siya ng energy tax. Yun po ang sabi sa batas. So niniwala po ka na may ibang areas din na nag-i-impose.
What is the rationale there?
Ay, yun po yung nakalagay doon sa BP. Sa,
Hindi, oo nga, pero I'm asking you as somebody from the energy sector, what is the rationale there?
I think po ang sa tingin ko po nung 1979 siguro po dahil nagkakaroon ng energy conservation, so kumbaga para makapagtipid yung yung sambayanan to sa consumption, no. So yung iba dahil mas mataas na yung rate niya sa Meralco, parang hindi na siya papatawan ng additional charges. So ang binibigyan na lang po ay yung Meralco at yung mga DUs na ang rate ay mas mababa sa Meralco. Kumbaga nagsimula po noong 1979, baka po ganun din po ang sinusunod ng mga ibang DUs. Although hindi pa namin na-verify.
So
kung sino
sorry
talaga
pakiulit. Kung mas mababa ang cost,
rate.
ang rate,
ang rate mismo,
ang rate, nag-i-impose.
mag-i-impose ayon po sa batas.
Parang baliktad, ano ha? Parang dinidiscourage mo yung efficiency.
Eh,
Diba?
Ako, I have a copy of that law. I-submit ko na lang sa chair. Pero kung tama yung interpretation, with all due respect sa taga Meralco, eh di yung 9 pesos ko, mayroon na sana kaming 10, 20, 35. Eh wala eh. Nandyan naman yung ERC. We are not imposing that. So, tingnan na lang natin yung batas na yan. Pero tama po siya na energy conservation po yung objective ng batas pambansa 36. Energy conservation po ang objective niya. So, yan yung energy efficiency bill
Am
natin.
I wrong? Am I being short-sighted? So if the rate is low, that's when you impose the tax on the consumer. Pero when it is high, so parang
Ganun po.
Baligtad nga kasi
parang-
mahal sila. Wala akong excise. Pero mahal sila, mayroon silang excise. Kaya baligtad yun.
okay.
Kung
So,
ganon ang
so-
interpretation.
No, so I guess the purpose was on the part of the end user. Dahil sorry, inefficient ang generator mo or ang distributor mo, hindi ka magbabayad ng tax. Pero dahil efficient naman, mababa binabayaran mo, magbayad ka ng tax. So again, it really calls for a review. You file that bill, Manong Serge, we will be the first one because again, we're trying to
Tapos
find
na,
ways
Mr.
to-
Chair. Nag-file na ako House Bill 8979.
Sabi mo alas 5.
Ay, hindi ko na pinaabot ng alas 5. House Bill 8979, repealing Batas Pambansa 36 kasi naawa ko sa mga kababayan natin sa Metro Manila.
Okay. Madam Chair, pwede bang if I may interject before you call on the next individual? Sa Meralco, can I just give you the opportunity or the chance? You've been seeing it no, repeatedly on TV and everywhere else. But everywhere I go, people still really look at it as nagkaroon na nabalik uli yung bill shock, di ba? So pakipaliwanag nga po na relative to what is spiking up the cost.
Um, Dalawa po yan. Yung
Sa simpleng paliwanag po,
Sige po,
pwede
sige
ha,
po.
para maintindihan
Yeah,
ng
Mr.
ating mga
Chair.
kababayan.
So dalawa po yung pwedeng magpataas ng electric bill po natin. No? Isa ay yung kung tumaas yung presyo. Example po, nung sinabi namin doon sa press release nung ito yung April, dahil po sumipa ang isa sa factory sumipa ang forex, mga nag-deteriorate, nagmahal po ang mga, let's say, binabayad namin sa generator. For example, na ang binabayad namin ay dollar denominated. So pag nag-deteriorate ang peso, maka-epektuhan po yan. So isa lang po yung presyo. Ngayon, isa pa po yung konsumo naman. Kasi even if the price is stable, but considering na ito po yung time na March, April, na natural po natataas ang konsumo because umiinit, compared, nanggaling tayo ng December, January. So, kitang-kita po yung pagtaas ng konsumo. No? So, ilang percent po yan. Kasi it's a seasonal nga po. It's a natural occurrence. Every year, yung cycle po yan ay nangyayari. So, bagat mataas ang konsumo, the summer months, ito May, June, tapos bigla naman magte-taper off na naman po. Bababa when nagkakaroon ng ulan in August, tapos pag lumalamig ulit in December. So, yun po ang natural cycle. So, both price and consumption. Now, when they go inside, then that is the time na talagang mas lalong mapapansin ng mga consumers. So, yun po yung, in a way, simple explanation on why the bills go up.
So, just if I may, Madam Chair, no? So, continuing with that is specific example natin ng sa Meralco billing ng March at saka April. So, sa sinasabi nga natin, sumipa yung from 57, naging 59, 60 ang dolyar. So, ang sinasabi ninyo, most if not all of your contracts with power generators are in FX, in foreign currency denominated. Tama ba?
Actually, marami pong factors din. One is yung forex, siyempre, meron din po yung fuel prices na kumbaga kung tumakit sa ngayon. And meron po kasi kaming iba-ibang planta. So depende po sa kung ano yung tatakbo. At saka meron ding factor na kumukuha din po kami sa WESM, Wholesale Electricity Spot Market, na kapag kumbaga ang balance mo, mababa ang supply, mataas ang demand, mismo may problema sa mga ibang mga generator, may mga outages, natural na nagmo-move din po.
Basta number one, tumaas ang generation cost.
Yun po, yung in total po.
Oo.
Total po.
Ilang porsyento po yun sa just on a median, on an average?
Kung porsyento po, mga 55 to 60% of the, for example, residential bill is comprised of
No,
generation.
ilang porsyento po yung tinaas
Yung mga,
sa generation cost?
kasi ang alam ko po yung parang
10%?
ito po, I think may 10% po, no? Kasi it's
Okay.
mga 8.3
So,
ngayon.
so yung iba
Before-
namang ibang mga subsidies na nakalagay doon, senior citizen, 4Ps, lahat. Matagal na po yun nandun o ngayon lang po yun nailagay?
Matagal na po yun, Mr. Chair. So yun naman po medyo stable. Although meron ba din
Ilang taon na po yun nakalagay doon?
yung for example po, yung lifeline mechanism.
Oo.
Yan po ay under sa IPIRA. Sabi magkaroon lifeline mechanism. With respect to Meralco, 2003 pa po namin in-implement
What
yan.
about the other subsidies?
Yung senior citizen, ay tingnan ko lang po yung
Sige lang, approximate lang. Hindi siya bago, hindi siya ngayong taon. Pwede bang sa ERC na lang ang kausapin natin? We'll
sige
ask
po, sige
ERC. Yes, Attorney Nino.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Para sa senior citizens, we had that since as early as 2010. It was based on the law that we're supposed to, the utilities are supposed to extend a 5% discount doon sa kanilang mga senior citizens na account holders, but up to their 100 kilowatt hour consumption lang. So that was that was as early as 2010. And that's why we cannot understand why it became part of the discussion as regards the Meralco bill shock. Because as far as we know, for last month, yung pagsipa nga as per the statement earlier, that was brought about by the higher generation charge. At ang increase nila was at around 53 centavos. But if you compare that to the prior month before that, that was even higher. It was 64 centavos increase. Pagdating naman doon sa Lifeline, the Lifeline is a 1 centavo charge that started in April. Before that, the Lifeline subsidy charge was less than 1 centavo for most of the distribution utilities because when the law was passed extending the Lifeline program, there was a qualification that was included, and that is that for the program to target the marginalized sectors, there has to be a qualification that indeed they are marginalized, and uh, those that are in 4Ps or determined to be marginalized by the distribution utilities following some criteria, these are the only ones that will qualify. When we revisited the program so that we can expand its implementation, we deemed it uh, better to have it on a national scale. That's why it became 1 centavo from the previous uh, a fraction of a centavo. But before that, before the law expanding the Lifeline program was passed, actually our Lifeline subsidies, the charge that we pay, would amount to almost 10 centavos because that was purely just consumption based. So that meant that if your consumption, regardless of your actual status in life, if your consumption will fall within the threshold, then you get the benefit, the discount. And for the subsidy or the Lifeline program to be funded, the subsidy charge was imposed on the non-lifeliners within the same distribution utility. That's why in the distribution utilities outside Metro Manila, especially the smaller ones, those under electric cooperatives, the threshold, unlike in Meralco where the threshold is up to 100 kilowatt hours, the threshold for some of the utilities outside Metro Manila would only just amount to 20 kilowatt hours per month. So napakaliit nung na co-cover nung Lifeline program. Unlike now where because of the uniform, we are able to set the threshold at 50 kilowatt hours. And take note, not all the 4Ps will be considered as part of the program. They have to not just being 4Ps, but they have to have consumption 50 kilowatt hours and below. Now, what is the impact of this? The impact of this is 1 centavo. So if you're a non-lifeliner consuming, say, 100 or 200 kilowatt hours, this is very small compared to the other components of the bill, like taxes, other taxes, which is actually the third highest in in terms of the amount we have because not just the VAT, we have also the local franchise taxes, the business taxes, and the other pass-through. Now, why are we charging that uh, to the other consumers? Yun ang tanong kasi. Ang tinatanong nila, bakit hindi na lang gobyerno? Yes, that is an option if government will decide. But this is a social amelioration that is implemented through this. Because if it will be passed on to the government and government will need to raise taxes to be able to fund this program, then
Okay.
we will again
Okay.
have the issue of whether we impose it as a burden on electricity consumers or as a burden to everyone as
Okay.
in the form of taxes.
Okay. Madam Chair, if I may, just last, no? So, just to be clear, the Lifeline discount is given without any economic examination. It's just based on a threshold. Meaning, if you are 20 kilowatt, tama ba? if the consumption is below.
Dati po, ganyan yung Lifeline program.
Ngayon,
Ngayon, you have to be vetted, and for you to be considered marginalized, kailangan either nasa 4P program ka or kinwalify ka. You have
who-
to prove.
who vets
yun.
that? The distributor?
Yung pagdating po sa 4Ps, it will be the DSWD.
Okay, so yun, malinaw yun. May ID yun, lahat. Ipapakita nila yun sa Meralco. Tama ba ako?
Automatic na po. Ang
Okay.
gagawin is if they are in the 4P and then their consumption is 50 kilowatt hours and below, they will enjoy the subsidy.
Who else will qualify kung hindi ka 4-piece? 50 kilowatt, below 50 kilowatt ka, pero hindi ka 4-piece, pwede
You-
ako mag-qualify? Hindi.
You still pay.
So, a Lifeline requires two things. Below 50 and 4-piece member ka.
Yes.
Tama?
Yes.
So, okay. The discount is effectively pinapatunayan mo yan sa distributor, right? You go to the Meralco, for Metro Manila, ikaw ay magpupunta doon, mag-a-apply ka at sasabihin mo, I'm below 50 and ito yung 4-piece ko. Tama ba yan?
Hindi na po. If you are in the list of 4P as certified by the DSWD, we will also forward the list. We have actually forwarded the
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, Meralco, itong listahan na ito, ini-input na ninyo sa inyong sistema, hindi nyo na sila tinitingnan, ito, entitled to sa discount, correct?
Mr. Chair, tama po. Yung listahan na nanggagaling po initially sa DSWD, napadaan po sa ERC at ERC naman po.
Ano
ang
po ang nagiging
nagpapa-
discount bali sa kanila? Effectively?
100% po kung hindi lalampas ng 50 kilowatt hours yung kanilang konsumo for the month.
So in short, walang babayaran.
Yes po.
Tama?
Yes po.
Okay. So pero siyempre, dahil magiging loss yan on the part of the distributor, kawawa naman sila, di ba? Inimpose ng gobyerno itong social amelioration program na ito, kailangan naman nilang mapunuan nito. Tama ako, di ba? That's why magpag-i-impose natin dun sa mga non-beneficiaries.
Yes po, kasi yan yung original pa ng nasa IPIRA.
Correct.
Na itong Lifeline program is an exception to the removal of cross subsidies. So, dahil ganyan ang pagkakategorize dito sa programa, nangangahulugan na ito ay form of cross subsidization.
Correct.
Meaning, one class will
Okay
have to
tayo doon.
subsidize
Okay
it.
tayo doon. Okay tayo doon. Kasi kahit naman yung taripa di ba? The more you consume, the higher you pay. In effect, that's also a cross-subsidization. Pero in this case kasi, nagiging libre. Ang tanong natin ng committee dyan is, how many are we talking about in the entire Meralco franchise area? Gaano karami yan? Kasi parang ang 50 kilowatt, ano ba yan, Manong Search? Ilang bumbilya ba yan? Ano bang, sa probinsya, anong ang 50 kilowatt?
Ano lang yan, mga 2-3 bumbilya, may electric fan ka,
Okay.
walang refrigerator. Kasi kung
Walang
lampas
refrigerator.
ka.
Okay. O sige. Sige po.
Mr. Chair, from our stats, no, yung mga marginalized beneficiaries na below ng 50 kilowatt hours or below, na libre ang kuryente po, mga mga around 7,000 sa Meralco po, sa loob lang ng Meralco.
Okay. So,
Sorry po.
Sige,
Nadagdag
go
ko lang
ahead.
po, na aside po doon sa sinabi na 50 kilowatt hour and below, kasi po dati ang Meralco meron ding discount up to 100. So ngayon, hindi naman po inalis yun, kaya yung 51 to 100, meron din naman siyang partial discounts. Hindi lang po 100%, partial, yung 51 to 70 is 35%, 71 to 100 is 20%. Ang dami naman po nito ay mga around less than 13,000. So all in all, mga 20,000 po ang beneficiary ng Meralco na nagkakaroon ng discount under the Lifeline program.
at saka yung inyong internal discount for 5,000 to 10,000. Itong may 35 at saka 20% discount.
Ay,
Yung total po na beneficiaries dyan is 20,000
opo,
lahat.
opo,
Tama po?
opo.
Okay.